Hello, this is Andy Cummins from Bet Hub, returning with another video. This time, giving my upcoming Yankee for the Cheltenham Festival. So my four best bets at this point in time, recorded on Saturday evening, the 13th of March. So hopefully these four horses do run in their respective races, and there's no further injuries or any issues, especially after an Ergamain and Time Hill earlier in the week. But just before we start, just don't forget to subscribe to the channel or hit the bell icon so you know when another video goes live. And also check out www.bethub.pro, where you can subscribe to a 14-day free trial with some excellent tipsters on there. Where Cheltenham and Aintree coming up, they will provide you with some winners and some excellent insight there as well. So without any further ado, we'll get ahead and go to my first selection, which comes in the Coral Cup. And admittedly, I did hope this was going to be in the County Hurdle, but it looks like the Coral Cup is the target for this particular horse. And it's Martin Brazel's You Raised Me Up, who returned from a couple of months of an absence there to win at Naas on his reappearance, giving weight away all around to actually win the same race that the Yards City Island won before he won the Ballymore. Beating champ 2 years ago. So it's a tried and tested route to the festival. You Raised Me Up was a drifter that day in the betting, possibly because of the softer ground. He had won a maiden hurdle previously in Listowel in September time, and he was put away. He did have an entry in the Ladbroke hurdle at the Dublin Racing Festival, a race in which he was third in as a 6-year-old, or as a 7-year-old, sorry. So it is a race that would have been a good stepping stone possibly if this race at Naas didn't come up. But we do have You Raise Me Up, who is around, I think, a 12 to 14 to 1 shot at the moment. I personally thought the new course at Cheltenham over 2 miles would have really suited him more. But he will come here. Also, you would have been getting maybe better ground on the Friday as well. But this is a horse that he will get the 2 miles 5, no problem. The style of the race will really suit. It'll be run in a similar vein to what the Ladbroke hurdle at Leopardstown would have been run in, a race, as I said, in which he was third in the past. So he does come here with plenty of experience. There's absolutely no way they've gotten to the bottom of this horse yet. And I think off his mark, he should be, getting quite close and running a big race for connections. It'd be interesting to see now where Martin Brazel technically goes with the jockey booking. Could be looking at maybe Dara O'Keefe or someone like that. A young up and coming Irish jockey will probably take the ride. But this is a race that would have really been laid out, and it's a mark of 141 for You Raise Me Up, who be 10 stone 12. I think he's got a really major chance here, and he should not be far away. Going to the next race, we have the Pretense Final, and this is probably my bet of the whole festival. It would be Champagne Platinum for Nicky Henderson, JP McManus, and this was just a really eye-catching run last time out at Haydock, which really caught my eye. It was notable that the cheek pieces were left off for that run at Haydock, where he finished, I believe it was about 8 lengths behind Bushy Park, so a registered mudlark is who he was chasing that day, but he wasn't given the hardest of times, and I feel there is a lot more to come from this 7-year-old by Stowaway. They're coming back from fences. Last season he did run over fences at Sandown. It was the Silly Isles Chase. He was third to Itchy Feet as a big price, and he actually went off favourite for last year's Kim Muir, which was won by Milan native. And I feel like this has just been the plan to bring this horse gradually along. He returned at Newbury, and he ran again a decent race in cheek pieces. Came to Haydock, came through beating horses. It looked like he would have got confidence from that run. And I say there's plenty more to come from this horse off a mark of 139. And again, only being 7 years old and having good he had a good form as a novice hurdler. He did run a decent race behind Classical Dream at the Punchestown Festival as a novice hurdler. He was beaten, I think he's 5th out of 6, and he was beaten a fair way, but he did run well for a long way for such an inexperienced horse. And I think he is going to take a hell of a lot of beating in the Pretense Final. McManus has a fantastic record in the race, and Nicky Henderson has won the race with Calder Cops in the past. So with a bit of luck, Champagne Platinum will not be far away. My third bet, and again, I was kind of deliberating on this because the stable form is slightly concerning, but the overall profile of the horse is, it's too hard to ignore, and that's Flooring Porter in the Stayers Hurdle. I just feel this horse has been really underestimated for his Grade One win at Christmas time at Leopardstown, where he made all the running under Johnny Moore, beating the likes of Sire de Burleigh, Storyteller, Fury Road. Now I know Gordon Elliott's horses were under a cloud of dust at Christmas time. A lot of them were scoping dirty and not really running to form. But Flooring Porter stacked them up and kicked for home in a similar vein to what he did at Navan on the start previously, where he actually beat the Bosses Oscar off a similar weight, absolutely trounced him, 13 lengths, I think. And he's up the top of the weights for the Pertemps. I know that because the English handicapper's given him a lot of extra weight, but that's the type of form we're talking about with Flooring Porter here. He's beaten a top handicapper and a top hopeful in the Pertemps, or for the Pertemps, and then he's gone and beaten all the top Irish staying hurdlers on his next start. And he's only 6, and he's done all of this since being swapped to front running tactics. And we just do not know where the bottom kind of lies, or where the ceiling kind of lies with Flooring Porter. And that's why I kind of like him so much. We don't really know what's under the bonnet, and we don't know what's fully under the bonnet. And he could even have more to give. Now, obviously, the slight negative is the new course, especially on the hurdles course. It takes a lot of getting, and Flooring Porter, who is going to be a front runner and probably one of the only front runners in the race, he's going to be out in front for a long, long time, and there'll be a lot of anxiety when he's came down the hill and he's kicking for home, and Jonathan Moore's just going to have to hold on to him and hold and hold and hold and just not go too early, because we see it time and time again, usually in the Martin Pipe, out of any races, where one of the younger apprentices or conditionals, they just kick too early and they get caught late on. And that's the worry you would have with Flooring Porter. But the fact that he's only 6 and he's just improving at a rate of knots, you just have to have him on side here. He's still around an 8 or 9 to 1 shot, even though Thyme Hill has subsequently come out of the race. And hopefully just gets an easier time in front, like he has done the last twice. And he can hopefully run a big race for us. My final selection then, again on the Thursday, so 3 of these 4 on the Thursday, would be Glens of Antrim for Willie Mullins, and again JP McManus. And this is a mare I really, really love. I think this could be a potential Mares Hurdle winner next year if they don't go chasing with her. She just definitely has a big, big engine. She's still very raw. She still struggles at her hurdles a little bit, as demonstrated behind Statler at Christmas time. Statler completely had the run of the race, and Glens of Antrim made a couple of errors, and she was the only horse to come out of a pack of a fair maiden hurdle, a pretty decent one, and give Statler any kind of race. Similar kind of story at last time out behind Mr. Incredible. They pulled over 30 lengths clear of the third here, and Mr. Incredible wins the race. Glens of Antrim runs an absolutely fine race in second. And I thought you'd go a little bit more under the radar, but as the race is seemingly cut up, there's not very many left here at the confirmation stage, and we'll know at declarations how many will run. I'd be saying maybe 10 or 11 runners, but Glens of Antrim will probably have the assistance of Mark Walsh. The last 2 hurdles in this final 7 furlongs will suit a mare that's kind of struggling a little bit with her hurdling at the minute. Not as much that you'd want it knocked back her, but the last 2 hurdles inside the final 7 furlongs, and the fact that she'll be a strong stayer over 2 miles, and she will hopefully have a pace to aim at, I'd be very confident that she will at least be placed just like the other 3 selections. So it would be an each way Yankee with these particular selections here. With You Raised Me Up for Martin Brosel in the Coral Cup, Champagne Platinum for Nicky Henderson in the Pertemps final, Flooring Porter for the Gavin Cromwell team in the Stayers Hurdle, and finally Glens of Antrim in the Don Rowan Mares Novice Hurdle for Willie Mullins. And hopefully we can yield a return with those 4 selections. But as I said, don't forget to subscribe, keep the bell icon on. I'll be back hopefully in the coming days with another few videos previewing each day of the Cheltenham Festival and giving my best bets. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.